And now it's time for illuminating discussion on today's trending topics. It's Just Us with Portia Bright.
Thank you for tuning in for another show of Just Us. And I'm your host, Portia Bright, and I have the privilege of sitting down today with the CEO and founder of Next Up Media Consulting Group. She's also a creative writer and photographer, and she also is here to talk about the opposite sex revealed relationship form. Jocelyn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm a little nerved all over the place, but it's a natural thing for me.
Yes.
It's very much so exciting. I'm even more grateful to have you here sitting in the studios with us today. What I want to get into is jumping into the opposite sex revealed. How did that come about? And tell our audience what that's all about.
Okay, well, the opposite sex revealed, the full name is the Opposite Sex Revealed Relationship Panel Forum.
Okay.
And basically it came about when I was on social media. Mm-hmm. Everyone talks about relationships on social media. You have That's Bae and relationship goals, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and they just had so many questions. And I decided to provide a venue, an opportunity for everyone to come together and ask those questions. And so that's what it is, just a night where you can dress up, hang out, get some great food, enjoy live entertainment. We try to keep the price at $10, so it's affordable for everyone.
Awesome. So with Opposite Sex Revealed Relationship Panel Forum, what type of things do you discuss?
Well, at the OSR, we discuss singleness, we discuss relationships, dating, red flags when dating. We discuss engagements, marriage, family, divorces, life, sex, everything that people really have questions about but are afraid to ask or don't know who and how to ask.
Now, you also have the relationship forum online as well, where people can engage and things like that.
Yes.
And so there's a broad range of questions. And one question that stuck out to me: what do you do when a gentleman gives you a promise ring within the first 2 months?
Ooh, okay. Well,
What would you
say, personally, I would say, let's hold it, let's cool it down, because generally it takes about 3 to 6 months for you to even know if you want to be with someone long term. And to me, a promise ring denotes I'm exclusively with you. I intend to date you intentionally for marriage. So to give that to someone within a month, it's a little too early for me, so I'd have to decline.
I don't know. It depends on what The Rock looked like.
Okay.
It depends on if we knew each other prior to.
That's the point. That's the point too.
Prior to getting in a relationship, whether I'd be more so like, okay, maybe this is just a nice gesture. I don't know. But it's a little hint for anybody out there thinking about giving Portia a little promise ring or anything like that. Okay, so with Next Up Media Consulting Firm, I mean, that's something that you've been doing for a few years now.
Yes.
What type of services do you provide?
Okay, well, we started Next Up in 2014, and basically we started off doing social media, digital media, marketing services, resume services, web content servicing services. So anything that really revolved around nonprofits, indie brands, or small businesses. Because as a small business, or a small business owner, you wear every hat imaginable. You have to be responsible for everything, and the last thing you want to worry about is marketing and how to get in touch with your core audience. And so that's where we step in. We help you with the services to keep that connection flowing, so you're not tied up in whatever you're doing, but you can still connect with your audience.
Wow, interesting. Now, one of our viewers submitted this question: as a contributing writer for a host of successful publications, blogs, groups, and organizations, including the Women in Entertainment Empowerment Network, also abbreviated as WEEN, what have you learned about yourself, and how has being a part of something bigger than yourself made you a better leader, businesswoman, and a prospective wife?
Ooh,
that's a big question.
Okay, yeah, that's a huge question. Okay.
Hold on, Jock. I think we have a call coming in.
Okay.
Well, I
have a call or have a call.
Hello, Just Us.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
You ready?
Yes, we are.
All right. I want to know, how do you know when to tell someone that you don't want to be with them anymore, even though they're a great person? How can you do that without hurting that person's feelings?
Well, thank you for calling in and asking that question. May I have your name, sir?
Oh, this is John.
Okay, John. Jocelyn, would you like to take on, and then I'll take that?
Okay. Hey, John, how are you doing tonight?
All right.
That's good. I would say to your question, as soon as possible, because if you really care about that person and you feel as though they're a genuine person, even if it hurts their feelings a little, the truth is always better than just leading them on. Because if you just wait longer and longer, they'll fall more for you. And then it makes it even harder to break away. So I would say as soon as possible, you should just sit them down, just really tell them how great of a person you feel they are, and then just say, you're a great person, but we are not great together. We just need to spend some time apart and just find ourselves. Or if you want to just put it on you, say, I just need time to find myself.
Yeah.
You can do that, but definitely as soon as possible.
Awesome. Did it answer your question, John? Because I'm going to piggyback off of that, too.
Yeah, for the most part, it did.
Okay. Thank you. We have another caller coming in. Just us.
Yes, my wife from over 40 years does not listen to me. Like, what can I do?
Okay, sir, can I have your name?
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I guess they went off.
All right.
But he said his wife for 40 years.
Maybe
40
she
years,
picked up
listen
the
to
phone. Yes. Woo.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so prior to that call coming in, as a contributing writer for a host of other publications, blogs, groups, and so forth, what have you learned about yourself first and foremost?
I have learned to really believe in myself. A lot of times we feel like, oh, well, I don't know exactly how to do this, or I don't know everything I could know about this subject, and it holds us back from really taking it to the next step. And I've learned from working with them, especially with WEEN, because I've had a chance to interview women in entertainment. And from a public standpoint, you feel like they have it all together. But in interviewing them, I realized they had no clue what they were doing. They just were taking a leap of faith half of the time.
Yes.
And they still are day by day. So that's what I really learned about myself, to just, even if I don't know what I'm doing, or if I don't know exactly how to get to the next step, just walk with faith and just trust that I'm going in the right position.
You're so right about that, because I've learned that myself with my walk. I had to strengthen my faith in order to have the courage to make it to the next level.
Correct.
Even with doing this show, I still have these nerve-wracking times where I'm like, Lord, what is going on? But I know what my faith is going to drive me to get better, and also I'm going to learn a lot of things about myself. So
It's a great show, so it's paying off.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, Job. Okay, so I got a question. Now, from your perspective, we talked about relationships early on in the show.
Okay.
How do you feel that social media has had an impact on relationships?
All right. I feel as though social media has affected relationships two ways. It has affected it negatively, which a lot of people can see.
Yeah.
A lot of times people treat Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat like a diary. So every waking hour of their relationship, they're posting, and it just really caused a lot of problems because number one, everyone can see what's going on. So when you're feeling bad, when you log off, there's still people talking to you about what you were blogging about. But also, it can, introduce infidelity.
Yes.
And it happens offline as well, but social media just makes it easier sometimes. But also, I think social media has helped relationships because personally, myself, my current boyfriend, we've known each other since we were kids. But we never really got to know each other in that way.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, we reconnected via social media, and we decided to exchange numbers, check up on each other, see what we were doing, and then it just led to a date, and here we are, like a year later.
Isn't it
so
awesome?
it can actually be beneficial.
Yeah, that's really
Yes.
amazing. Now, do you feel as if sometimes it's more pressure on a woman because of social media, because she feels she has to compete with something that's going to be always there?
Definitely, 100%, because of the Woman Crush Wednesdays, and you have all these video models. The average person does not look like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have some guys, they expect that from everyday women, and they don't understand, number one, half of those photos are photoshopped anyway.
Yes.
And number two, that's all they do. That's all they have. A lot of times the women just have their bodies and nothing else.
Yeah.
So that's really not the type of person men should want to go after, but unfortunately they do hold every woman to that account.
Exactly, because with the new Kanye West video and Tiana Taylor. So this gentleman on social media the other day, he was like, "Oh, I think everyone, all the curvy ladies are going to have to be in the gym because of Tiana Taylor's body." Does he not know that those pictures are photoshopped prior to going into the video? There's a lot of editing that takes place.
Yes.
So I don't think a lot of men get those things that are happening behind the scenes. They just look at just the finished product.
Correct. The results, they don't know what goes into it.
Yeah, and a lot of women aren't there. Like, they are not that person that you see on the video. They're not. They're completely, totally different.
Correct.
So tell me this. What would be your first date? What would you want to be your first date?
Oh, first date. Okay. Well, I guess I can just go to where my boyfriend and I went on the first date. We just kept it simple because I believe on a first date, you shouldn't be rushing to get married. You should just be who you are. And just allow the person to see who you are. So just pick something natural. And we just went to eat. We were going to go to the state fair, but it was too cold. So we decided not to do that, but we just sat and talked and caught up. And I think that's a really good first date because it's just about you, no distractions. You get to really know who it is that you're on a date with.
True. Now, we know that you're a business owner, of course. Now, as a millennial myself, I know some of the struggles of actually starting a business and things like that. So ultimately, what led you to want to jump out to become a business owner? Because, I mean, you've been into the corporate world for over 10 years now, right?
Yeah, about 12 years in the insurance industry. However, I'm still working in the insurance industry, but I'm also balancing and juggling everything else. And I didn't know I wanted to be my own business owner, but I did know I wanted to help people. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've wanted to help people, encourage people, and help them discover their dreams. I didn't realize it had anything to do with helping them discover their purposes, but essentially that's what it is. And so that's why I got into Next Up Media Consulting, because I know how hard it is being an entrepreneur and a small business owner. So I wanted to provide services, high quality services, for an affordable price. Because you can't get that everywhere. And the same thing with the photography. I've always loved photography. I've been doing that since 2007. But I just really want to show people how beautiful they are. I want to give them memories that they can just look back on and just say, I remember that day, or I remember this time in my life.
That's awesome. Now, as an entrepreneur, how do you make sure that you're making the right investments back into your company so that way it continues to be successful? Because everybody knows, we're living in trying times, and you have to have jobs on top of jobs on top of jobs in order to make it. So when you start off as a small business owner, you're kind of like, well, how do I pay myself? Or,
Correct.
You know what I mean? How do you do that?
Well, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, hence why I still work in corporate America. But really the main thing you need to know as an entrepreneur is that you need to understand cost. You need to know what everything costs to run your business, all the way down to a pencil or a stack of paper, because that's going to be factored into how much you charge. And you also need to know the value of the service you're providing, because if there's no niche or no value, you're not going to really have a steady flow of clientele. So that's one thing you need to take into account as well. And that's once you understand the costs of everything, overhead costs, and the value of your services, then you can have something that comes together to where you can pay for your business and keep a roof over your head.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be right back. Of course, don't you turn it down. We'll be right back with Jocelyn Drawhorn, where we talk about more of the opposite sex revealed and relationships.
For 32 years, Tar Heel Auto Sales has been your choice for getting a great ride at a great price. With financing available from major banks to credit rebuilding and a first-time buyer's plan, Tar Heel's no-haggle pricing makes sure you not only get the best price, but the best price the first time. Plenty of late model cars available, still with the manufacturer's warranty.
If you want a good deal, come to Tar Heel. 4595 Sunset Avenue. And we want your business.
Flowers by my bed.
Pandora jewelry isn't just jewelry.
This morning you're in my head.
It's I love you in silver and gold. A feeling she'll hold close each and every day.
Get your Pandora in a Bailey's box today at Bailey's Fine Jewelry at 117 South Winstead Avenue in Rocky Mount.
Ready again as usual.
Man, it's excitement in there. It's pure excitement. Exclusive stuff, exclusive blazers, straight from Sicily, Palermo. We open every day, Monday through Sunday. You come down here and we go take care of you. I don't follow the trend, I create the trend. So come to PJ's and be a trendsetter. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, I have the lovely Jocelyn Drawhorn here today, CEO and founder of Next Up Media Consulting Group. And we're talking about relationships today, so if you happen to be by your phone, make sure you give us a call so we can answer any questions that you might have today. So Jocelyn, of course, we have the Opposite Sex Revealed Relationship Forum coming up this weekend. I mean, are you excited? Seriously, this is your third one.
Yes, I am so excited because this is getting back into the purpose that we talked about earlier. When you have the faith in something and you really feel like God gave you something, it just blows your socks. You're just so excited. And I really want people to enter into healthy relationships and navigate the dating world and marriage world in a healthy manner and not get sucked into what society is trying to tell them. So I am very excited. Very excited.
Now, with Opposite Sex Revealed, have you gotten any participants who've come there and meet a special person and left and felt like they were better off than they were when they came?
Well, as far as meeting someone, not yet, but that is an underlying goal as well, because I want to create an atmosphere where everyone's coming to get some healthy information. And so, hey, if you're a single woman, there's a single guy there, you're here for the same reason. So that hasn't happened yet, but the night is still young, the year is still young. We have a Saturday to go. But also, what was your other question?
Are you going to have any vendors there?
Yes, we'll have vendors. We have Fashionista Files, and it is owned by Lachey Settles. She is an up-and-coming entrepreneur, sells shoes, high heels for the ladies, T-shirts, jewelries. We also have Five and Fabulous. Kim White, she's out of Greenville. Accessories galore. We stacked up last year. $5 all across the board, and we also have some Mary Kay consultants in there as well.
Wow, that's awesome. It sounds like everybody is literally on top of this relationship game.
Yes.
I mean, this is serious. Now, also, I wanted to ask you this. You know that a lot of dating apps are being created.
Yes.
What do you think about someone using a dating app to find somebody? What is your perspective? Then I'll share mine.
I personally think it can open the door to some things and some people you really don't want to come across. But whatever floats your boat, because like I said, that's how I reconnected with my boyfriend through Facebook. But I do think that the apps have a tendency to minimize the genuine connection. It's sort of like based on physicality, like, oh, you look cute? No. You look cute? No. Oh, you have a cat? You have a dog? No. And it's not really getting into the meat of who they are. So I'm not sold on them completely, but hey, if it works for some people, it works.
Yeah, because I was actually talking to one of my colleagues, and of course I had been single for a minute now, and she was like, Portia, well, you totally need to start dating. I'm like, well, I've got all this work going on. I'm not really thinking about relationships right now because I know that would take me off of my game. But then one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. So I tried one of the dating apps, and I can say from my first experience, I did not like it at all, because I did what you were saying. I was swiping through. Like, is this what guys do to women all the time? And it is exactly what happens. But then I was actually supposed to meet one of the gentlemen that I actually had a great conversation with. Girl, he turned out to be not who he said he was.
Catfish.
Yeah, catfish to the fifth power. But we're going to get back to that story. Looks like we have a call coming in. Hold on one second. Hello, Just Us.
Yes, I had two questions.
Yes, sir.
My first question was, why come women in their 30s are, late 20s are so rushed to get married when women in 60s are getting married, 80s are getting married, 50s are getting married? Why is there such a rush?
Jocelyn, would you like to take that one?
That's your name again?
George.
Okay, George. Well, that is definitely a great question. And as a woman who is almost 30, I will say that women are innately designed to want companionship. Again, marriage is not for everyone, and everyone is not meant to get married. However, we are innately designed to nurture and to care for someone, and to which we want to be our husband and our children. And so we feel like, okay, we're getting to the point, we have our schooling down. We hopefully will be in a good career. So now we just really need to share that with someone. So that is a huge reason of why women in their 20s and 30s want to get married. Now it actually is kind of changing a little bit, because like you said, people are waiting until they are clearly establishing their careers to get married, but that's not everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, too, family is something that you grow up being around. I mean, and reproducing and actually having something together is like, I mean, it's incomparable. Like, there's no other feeling or other joy, especially if you grew up in a home with parents who were just that, you know what I mean? Career, family oriented. I mean, you want to share those things, and I feel like getting married early on is great. I feel like, because it's a growing process.
Yes.
I mean, because you're never going to know everything in life, and having somebody to share those things with, those learning experiences, is important. So I hope that answers your question,
Oh, yes.
sir.
And I will add also, and I found this to be true with my current boyfriend, the older you get, the more stuck you get in your ways in relationships. And I grew up in a 2-parent household, so I have learned firsthand that you are individuals first before you are a couple. So the older you get, the more you get stuck in your ways. So when you do get with someone, you're not willing to budge. And if they're not willing to budge, that really doesn't get you anywhere.
Exactly. Sir, did that answer your question?
Yes, and I had one more. I found out recently that I got a girl pregnant.
Okay.
And but I'm not sure about the results, and we can't really right now afford. Well, I can't really afford to go get the test results. Do you know any financial resources where I can go and get a test done or anything?
Well, I would suggest you contacting the health department. They usually help with things like that, and I'm pretty sure social services will have a list of resources that you can tap into.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for calling. Wow, that was very interesting.
It was. I'm glad he asked. I mean, hey.
You just never know. Some people are like, literally, if they don't get the information from someone else, then they just won't get it. Some people just don't read. You know?
Right.
But let's get back into the opposite sex.
Okay.
Again, last year you had a panel of a number of different people from all professions. Is that something that you wanted to do in order to create diversity in the advice that you receive?
Oh, definitely, because the event does cater to everyone in all spectrum of love. So we have singles, we have people who are married, people who are just dating, parents, single parents dating, divorce, dating, getting back in there. So I definitely wanted to have panel members who covered that spectrum, and every year that is the goal. Some will come back for another year, but eventually we always want to keep it fresh and just invite new people to come so you can get a fresh perspective.
Now, did you get a lot of debating at the forum?
Not too much debating going on. I can remember a few moments where, because again, the OSR is interactive, so not only do you have the panel asking questions and answering questions, you in the audience can ask questions as well.
Oh, really?
Correct. So the panel can ask your questions because they'll give you sound advice. So we had a few questions last year that kind of tipped the boat a little bit, and they really wanted to know. So we had a little bit of going back and forth, but it was all good. It was all healthy advice because, hey, everyone doesn't believe the same things, and so that's why we are there, so we can get everyone on one track, on one accord, to know, okay, I thought this way about one thing, but now that I see another perspective, I can move forward toward a healthy relationship.
Indeed. Now, I know everybody's going to do a lot of talking there. Are there going to be any refreshments or anything like that?
Yes. You have to have refreshments, especially if you're having something in the evening. So we are going to have Dana Lucas and her Cater to You business, catering. We had her last year as well.
Gotcha.
We had Chef Megan Ashley from California come the first year. So hopefully we can get her back as well.
Awesome.
So we can just kind of give everyone a try. But we definitely will have refreshments, and as I mentioned earlier, we will have live performances. We have live performances each year because we do want it to be just an entire night of fun and relaxation. So this year we will have Rashad McNeil performing.
Oh, wow.
He's a singer out of Wilton, Raleigh area, and he's just growing with his buzz. So he'll be there to kind of bless us with some of the classic love songs and things from the 90s. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So tell us how we can reach out to you if they're looking to get tickets. Where can they get those at?
Okay, you can get the tickets at www.theosr.com. Or you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Opposites Reveal. Tickets online are $10. You can buy them up until this Saturday. But if you wait to come to the door, which will be at the Imagination Station in downtown Wilton, it will be $13 at the door. So you definitely want to save a few dollars and get something online. We also offer group rated tickets, 3 for $25. So if you have some friends, just want to go out with, double date, you can come on out as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here with us today, Jocelyn. I really appreciate it. So great
Thank you for having me. Yes.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited.
And I don't want you to not miss next week's show. We have Kaya Smith. She's actually a songwriter who basically took part in the So Gone Challenge, and she didn't imagine that her video would get 3.3 million views. So make sure you tune in next week as she talks about the Organic Project as well as what life is like after the So Gone Challenge. So thank you for tuning in.
Thanks.